Then back in the USA squad after that wrist surgery as USA Women's Soccer returns to Boston for the first time in 6 years. Coming up live here on ESPN3, it's USA against the Korea Republic. Hello and welcome to Gillette Stadium here in Foxboro, Massachusetts for this international friendly on a beautiful evening on the East Coast between the USA and the Korea Republic. I'm Dan Thomas, delighted to be joined by former US international Kat Whitehall. Kat, what can we expect from today's game?
Well, this game is a key game for this team because what Tom Sermanni, the coach of the U.S. team, is really looking for is 2015 World Cup. And these couple of games, and a little bit in the fall, is really where he's going to develop that core group of players. And so this is a chance for them to shine, and he's going to be looking at it. Two young stars will be leading the line for the USA as Sydney Leroux will be partnered by Alex Morgan. Is this a reward for their performance against Canada? Absolutely a reward. I mean, Alex Morgan with two of the same shots and goals in 3 minutes, and then Sydney Leroux able to come on. But the exciting thing about them is how fast they are up top. They are so speedy, can get in behind, as you see here with Sydney Leroux, finding the space in behind the Canadian defense. But they are also very skilled. They can hold the ball up top, allow the midfielders to come with them and combine really well. And those two have good chemistry. They've developed well since the youth national team days.
So a couple of surprises really in the USA starting 11. No Abby Wambach, no Hope Solo either. It's a mix of youth and experience here that Tom Sermanni has named.
Definitely, and you can see even Christy Rampone, the captain of the team with 281 caps, is playing right outside back, which he hasn't played in years. So he's trying different things to get a lot of people some playing time, and it's just a good chance for them to see what is there for 2015.
Now, Korea Republic, a little bit of an unknown quality, but what we do know is that Ji So-yeon is the star of their show, a very exciting player, full of quality.
She's their number 10. She's crafty on the ball. She can get in behind players well, but the key for her is going to be that combination play and finding her other players in and getting her midfielders to come up, because the U.S. is going to be attacking, and their counterattack is really where they're going to look to beat the United States, and she's going to be key in holding it a little bit and helping their defenders have a little bit of a break.
Does it surprise you that we're in a situation, Kat, in which Hope and Abby aren't starting?
Right now, nothing surprises me with any Tom Sermanni lineup. He is just trying everything, and Hope coming in for the first time. When I talked to him about Hope Solo and how she had been doing this whole week, he said she's back to normal, back to being one of the top goalkeepers in the world. And when I asked him about Abby not being in the lineup, he said, well, she's definitely going to come on. We want to give her a little rest. We want to reward someone like Sydney Leroux, who did play well in the Canada game, but has also played well in practices this week. And he also has to think about the NWSL and how many games she had just recently played. And, you know, he was talking about how there are some veterans on this team, and she's one of them, and he has to manage her well.
A very special evening for Rachel Buehler, as she is marking a 100th cap. Well, in fact, it's her 103rd cap. She picked up that 100th cap in Portugal in the Algarve Cup. It's the first time she's had a home game in which to celebrate this. This is, of course, a milestone that you yourself celebrated, Kat. A very proud moment.
It's a very proud moment. I actually celebrated it right here the last time the United States played here. So I love this stadium, and I'm excited for a player like Rachel Buehler. She definitely deserves it.
Rachel Buehler will be captaining the side then here tonight, and you couldn't ask for better conditions, could you, for a soccer game? It's just perfect.
Absolutely perfect. It's cool enough so you feel like you can run for days, and the pitch is looking amazing, and it's going to be a fun game, and thankfully, no clouds in the sky.
It will be then the Korea Republic to get us underway then here at Gillette Stadium in Foxboro, Massachusetts. They'll be playing from left to right on your screens in their red t-shirts and blue shorts. The USA, of course, in their traditional white top and black shorts. Shirts, of course, you can bid on for charity after the games. All the money going to the Boston Strong Foundation. A fine crowd have turned out here today, as it is the Korea Republic then get us underway for this international friendly. Of course, this match comes weeks after USA's 3-1 victory, or 3-0 victory, sorry, against Canada. just as a litmus test, Canada played the Korea Republic back in January. The Korea Republic won that game 3-1. So in theory, it should be a good test here today for Tom Sermanni's side.
It should be a good test, and he wants to see vast improvements from that Canada game. He didn't feel like the team played as well as they could have, and he was just a bit disappointed. He really wants to develop his style of play, and when I asked him if he really felt like it was coming along, he's like, slowly but surely. He just wants a little bit more patience and not, you know, 100% all the time, and right now that's really difficult for the United States.
I was chatting to Christy Rampone about that, and she's just saying that Sermanni wants us to calm down a little bit, put the handbrake on occasionally, and not just run around at 100 miles per hour.
That's not the United States mentality. Been there before, and when we see the ball going forward, we're going to go for it, and patience is very difficult. Kim
Sung-yu loses out in the center. This is the first opportunity for the US, and Chung-Mi Kim with the save. She tips it over the bar, and it's the first corner of the game, and it's for the hosts.
And I love it already. Christy Rampone finally getting the start at right back, getting the first shot of the game. A well-played ball from Alex Morgan, and Christy Rampone has to be excited. She doesn't have too many goals, 4 out of 281 caps, so she's going to make the most of this opportunity.
Corner's played in flat, cleared away. The US are just looking to exert some early pressure here. There's Carly Lloyd on this near side, still with Lloyd, and it's just picked up in the center though by Choi Sung-yoon.
That's going to be a real difficult issue for the Korea Republic against the United States. The United States is just a strong team, and Korea Republic isn't known for their strength. They're known for being crafty on the ball, for the short, easy passes, keeping possession. The United States is really going to use their strength and speed.
It's a good run by Sydney Leroux, plays it inside, and surely the US should, and indeed they do, open the scoring with just 2 minutes on the clock. And it's Christy Muse, the hometown girl who grew up in Hanson, Massachusetts, who breaks the deadlock. It's a Korea Republic 0, the USA 1.
And here's Sydney Leroux speed, getting by this Korea Republic defender, and well done from US to get up. She's the left outside back, but she is in the box, and having numbers in the box is so dangerous, especially if you get your outside back. And well done from Coben Heath making the near post run, and then a wide open Christy Mewis to get a goal in her hometown. That's so special.
What a dream for her. As you say, it was almost impossible to miss, as you mentioned. Coben Heath did all the hard work on the far side, and the ball just fell to Mewis, and she puts it into the back of an empty net. And it is a fairy tale start for her, and a great start for Tom Sermanni's side.
And that's the benefit of putting someone like Christy Mewis, who's a left-sided player, but she's normally a midfielder, and he's put her on the back line so that she will get forward. And right there you can see the dangers that she presents to the opposition. Getting forward, not afraid, very comfortable in the box, where she was able to easily settle it and score for the US and get her first goal. That's so exciting in her hometown.
What a time to get it. Just her 6th appearance as she opens the scoring here. The US won this amazing unbeaten streak at home. You have to go back to 2004. The last time they lost a home game, that was against Denmark.
And that was the fan celebration tour, since I was a part of that, so.
Well, I didn't mean to bring that up, Kat. I wasn't pointing the finger of blame at you, but.
We were celebrating the gold medal, so I guess there was a little bit too much celebrating.
Still the excuses come. Kim Hae-ri plays it forward, looking for Ji Sung-young. The first real attack that we've seen from the visitors here. Lloyd. Tobin Heath. Moves one back by Kim Hoo-rae. Goes out for a throw-in. Well, quickly back in play though by Park Hee-young. One of these players have made the step up from the under-20 side that finished 3rd in the World Cup. last year. So a bit of inexperience out there in the Korea Republic team. You just wonder how they will respond to conceding a goal so early on. Junlun-ha is just muscled off the ball in the centre. Here's Sydney Leroux looking to use her pace, and she uses it well. Leroux gets past her marker, it's Alex Morgan. Samani must be delighted with what he's seen from the opening 5 minutes here.
Well, I mean, he has to be definitely excited knowing how it took so long for the U.S. to score.
Oh, and it's seen it just like that. Lauren Cheney doubles the advantage. And I'll tell you what, this could be a cricket score today. It's Korea Republic now, USA 2.
A great move from Tobin Heath, and Lauren Cheney sees a little bit of space and beats the goalkeeper Kim near post, which you never want to happen, but this nice little cheeky move from Tobin Heath and one little touch from Cheney and finds the open spot. Great goal.
Assist on the goal credit.
The coach of disappointed with the space that Cheney had on the edge of the box. Not only to take a couple of touches, but to pick a spot as well.
It just seems like the whole Korea Republic team right now is just a little bit intimidated by the U.S. They're allowing the United States way too much space all over the field. Sydney Leroux is just having to touch the ball past her defender and use her speed, and they just have to be a little bit smarter. There are ways to deal with the speed, and that's by dropping a little bit quicker, knowing exactly where she is and trying to read the pass a little bit more. And that's what they have to find now. Now that they're down 2-0, they have nothing to lose, and they can really start playing their style of play and not genuflect so much to the United States.
Christy Rampone plays it forward. Nice little back heel. And it's Jo Soi-hun now on the overlap. Knocks it inside to Kim Na-rae. To Junlun-ha, and it's a long shot. It just goes wide of the mark. Well, I was speaking to Yongdong Yao yesterday, and he was saying he wasn't afraid of the inexperience that he was bringing to this side, but it has been a nightmare start for his team.
I think he's a little afraid now. He's probably wanting to see what it will take, if they can learn from this, or if this will just completely get out of hand. Can they start to really develop the attack? He talked about how transition is going to be key for them, and right now they can't even really win the ball for the United States. They have to be a little bit more disciplined defensively.
Beautiful move as the ball finds its way to Alex Morgan. Can be sure that she's going to be chomping at the bit to get in on this goal-scoring action. But we just saw in that second goal, didn't we, what Sydney Leroux brings to the table. Just that burst of pace on that far side.
Well, both Alex Morgan and Sydney Leroux up top, there's not one that you can really focus on because they're both extremely fast. And Sydney Leroux, just with one touch, was able to beat her defender. There's just so much speed there. And she definitely has skills, and she's able to hold the ball up. But when you have that tool, why not use it? And she uses it extremely well.
Now, Park Hee-young has got a little bit of space as she knocks it across into Jo Soi-hun. Not a bad delivery into the box, headed away though comfortably in the centre by Buehler. We were talking beforehand about how Jo Soi-young is the star player of this Korea Republic side. She's the only player, in fact, to plies her trade outside of the Women's K-League, playing in the J-League. His second highest paid player as well. Just shows the quality that she brings, but she's hardly touched the ball here so far.
Yeah, I actually talked to one of my former teammates that plays for her same team, Inat Kobe, over in Japan. She said she is such an exciting player, so skilled on the ball, so crafty. She gets the whole league excited whenever she touches the ball, but right now, you're right, she hasn't really seen it. She needs to bring the ball down and hold it a little bit for this Korea Republic team for them to be successful at all.
It's a better spell of play here from the visitors, and it is Ji So-young who looks to pull the trigger. It just comes out to Nicole Barnhart, who got a little lucky there as the ball deflects out for a throw. Kim Nairi. So across to Lee Si-jin. It's a 14-hour plane journey that brought the Korea Republic side here on Monday, and then a 6-hour coach journey from JFK. Miserable weather on Monday night, not the greatest of welcomes for them, and it's been chilly here the last couple of days, but just warmed up over the last 24 hours. Perfect timing for this game. It's the climate they're used to playing at the moment back in Korea. Back into Sauerbrunn. Well, I know you were saying before, Kat, you very much rate Becky Sauerbrunn as a centre back.
Yeah, I think she's definitely one of the up-and-coming stars. She's been with the team long enough now where you're going to start seeing her start a bit more. She's got great composure in the back. When you talk to some of the players, like when I talked to Sydney Leroux and Heather O'Reilly, I asked them who are the defenders on their team that are the most difficult to go against, and Becky Sauerbrunn is normally up there as one of the defenders that can easily stop them and how quick they are and how skilled they are. So that just says a lot about who Becky is, and I think we're going to see a lot more of her as time goes by.
Sydney Leroux, this time elects to play it in first time to Alex Morgan. Couldn't quite get there. Chao Mi Kim, the most experienced player on this side, the Korea Republic goalkeeper, coming out, although the offside flag was up. Nice run on the overlap from Lee Si-jin. It's her debut here tonight, winning her first cap for the Korea Republic. And what a baptism of fire it is for her up against Sydney Leroux. That left back spot.
Yeah, but it seems now that the Korea Republic team has really settled down a bit. They're starting to play more their style of play. They've spread the field out a little bit. They're a lot calmer on the ball. They're not allowing the ball to get over the top because they're pressuring the United States midfield a bit more. So that's how they needed to start instead of starting down 2-0. But at least now they're starting to see some bright spots, and maybe they can get a goal here and give them a little bit more confidence.
Well, the history looks encouraging when you look at previous meetings here at Gillette and Foxboro previously. 7 times the USA have played here. They have never conceded a goal. Kat will say that's because of her.
There's no bias there, right?
Kim Hae-ri then with a free kick just on the halfway line here. As the home crowd find their voice. Hae-ri floats a decent ball into the centre. There's a real height advantage, isn't there? USA at the back there.
Yeah, there really is, and the funny thing is, the only attack that Korea Republic has really initiated is the crossing in the box, and they're not going to really win any of those. They need to look more for the through ball coming in from Ji So-young.
There we are. That's one way to stop Sydney Leroux. Your teammate, of course, at the Boston Breakers brought down there.
That's what we like to call a smart foul.
Is up here. Tom Samani's side. Looking for a good delivery from this free kick in a dangerous area. It's headed away at the near post. And then the effort wide from LaRue. It's quite an impressive interplay before the free kick was taken there. Obviously something they've been working on in the training ground. A couple of players starting offside, moving into an onside position. See, looking to confuse the defence. Confuse me.
Yeah, I've seen that a couple of times from the U.S., and it is confusing because you have to pay attention as a defender to those players that are in the offside position, but you can't mark them because you want to keep a high line. So there's definitely a bit of confusion, and you don't know what exactly they're going to do.
Cleared long back in. Sauerbrunn, and Rapone plays it forward. A 282nd cap tonight. Tobin Heath. Oh, lovely footwork. In the end, though, it's good covering in the centre by Jo So-young.
Tobin Heath is so good on the ball. She's so skilled and not afraid to take players on like that. And you can see what she really gives the United States, especially on this left side.
The throw in. Jo So-young. Deep to win the ball. Plays it off to Yu Yonga. Kim Hai-ri. The centre to Shim Sao-young, the captain of the Korea Republic side. Referee given the foul. Do you want to talk about the referee, Kat? Or are we going to get into trouble?
We won't get into too much trouble. There was a goal in our game, and she happened to be the referee, and it didn't get called as a goal. So that's just stating facts at that point. I won't say my opinion. How's that?
That's good. We'll stay on the air, I think.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
That wasn't what she was saying before kickoff. Lee Si-yin on the far side for the Korea Republic, who have kind of regrouped after conceding those 2 early goals here. Just joining us here was Christy Mewis, who opened the scoring. Her first ever goal in front of her home crowd here. Very proud moment for her. Lauren Cheney soon doubled the advantage for the USA. And here comes Alex Morgan now. Nice play by Morgan. Never looked comfortable though taking that shot. Clearly off balance.
Mad at herself for that missed opportunity. She had the defender beat, but decided to cut it back on her trusty left foot, and that's where it bounced up a little bit. She wasn't able to get the shot that she wanted.
Carly Lloyd. Just all over the top. Sydney LaRue looking to take it, and it's still open there. In the end, Sim Xiao-yong comes across, but the Korea Republic captain gives it away. Just turning the screw there for a moment. It's LaRue. So Ramponi just manages in the end to get the cross in. And it bypasses everyone and goes out for a goal kick. Of course, we're used to seeing Ramponi playing as a centre-back, aren't we? You're saying she's just like a dog off the leash now.
Well,
loving playing.
Yeah, loving it. She played forward when she was in college. many years ago, and now she used to play outside back for the national team when she first started out. Now she's been put in the center back, but getting this opportunity to play outside back for her, I know if I got the opportunity, I'd be doing the exact same thing she's doing, getting forward as much as possible. Center backs, we just don't get enough opportunity, so we're going to make the most of it every chance we get.
Her last goal, by the way, was in 2005 against Iceland. How the 37-year-old would love to score tonight. Rachel Bueller into the goal scorer Mewis. There was an open training session here yesterday, and they gave Mewis the microphone to welcome everybody who attended along. She's got a lot of stick from her teammates, as you would imagine.
I was about to say, how did she do? She was probably extremely nervous.
Yeah, she handled herself extremely well, in spite of the noises that were being made behind her by some members of her team. Christy Mewis pops it forward, and it's a great ball. And it's Morgan. Superb work from O'Reilly there to set up that opportunity.
That's what Heather O'Reilly gives you. She's a midfielder, starts on the right, but she's ending up on the left because she makes great runs, times it extremely well, and just with the one-time ball, finds a wide open Alex Morgan, and just, it looked like it might have gotten tipped, but it looks like goal kick for Korea Republic. But Heather O'Reilly is so good with her timing and running along the line. She doesn't get called offside very often because she knows exactly where she is on the field, and she's just a workhorse for this team. She never tires.
Knocks it forward, Ji So Young. The ball here for the visitors, just knocks it back into Park Hee Young. Barnhart with a rare touch so far in this match. Bueller who pumps it forward. So Kim Hai-ri. Yu Yonga. Finds Park Hee Young. It's a nice period of play here from the Korea Republic. Ju Young Ha is calling for it, but this is where they're in trouble. The USA looking to catch them on the break, and once again Sydney Leroux brought to the ground, this time by Kim Hai-ri. Again, a lot of bodies going forward here for the USA. The target of that pass. It's one back well, and eventually the ball does find its way to the Korea Republic number 10. Good pass and movement here from the visitors.
It's much better from Korea Republic, but what I like from Carly Lloyd, number 10 for the U.S., is she's doing a nice job of sitting right in front of the back line, and she's really given Ji So Young a lot of defensive problems, and that's why you haven't really called her name very much.
Oh, and it's an opportunity, and one that is taken beautifully as Choi So-hyun gets one back for the Korea Republic here. It's a Korea Republic 1, the USA 2.
Korea Republic goal scored by number 8, Choi So-hyun. Goal scored in the 26th minute.
This is a great job from Korea Republic, building it up, being patient, and just a little bit of a miss, but then a wide open Cho Soo-yeon just is able to finish it with a beautiful strike right here, wide open. No one is attending to her at all, and perfectly lower 90 shot. It's very difficult for Nicole Barnhart to even get a touch on that.
So it's the first goal that the USA have ever conceded here at Gillette, or indeed we were at Foxboro. Taken very well by Choi Soy-hun, her third goal at international level. Tom Samani will be disappointed with that, but
yeah, and the United States just has to be a little bit more aware. They're just become a little bit lackadaisical. That's the problem with scoring 2 goals so quickly at the beginning of the game. They've just kind of not had that quickness and desire that they started out with, and that's what they need to come back with, and just deal with the goal, but get a quick third goal and really come back to what they started out playing so well.
they've clearly, just for the time being, taken their foot off the gas, and they've been punished as a result. Meanwhile, Young Dong Yao, the Korea Republic coach, will be delighted with the resilience that his team have shown, because it'd been very easy being 2-0 down within the first 10 minutes to let their heads drop.
Yeah, and they really didn't. But they finally started playing the way that they knew how to play. Short, quick balls, and then finding the space on the outside like they are here. And that's just posed a little bit of problems for the United States, that quick switch that they're finding. And Korea Republic, they're getting the numbers forward, and it's difficult to mark all those players in the box.
Speaking to the coach yesterday, Young Dong Yao, he was saying that he knew his team were underdogs going into this. They'd be giving 100%. He said they were very quick. What's impressed, certainly so far from what we've seen from them, is their ability to keep the ball on the ground and comfortably stroke it about to each other.
Well, he talked a lot about transition as well, but the interesting thing to me is they've done well just controlling this game a little bit. The United States kind of came out, they were going 100%, like we talked about, that Tom Sermani wants them to pull back a little bit, but that's how they scored the 2 goals, and the United States was the one that was combining and keeping possession and making the Korea Republic team run in circles. Well, now it's kind of changed a little bit. Now Korea Republic, they're making the United States run a little bit more, and it's frustrating the United States a bit, and that's why you're seeing balls just kind of going out of bounds. The United States would normally be passing inbounds, and that's just a difficult thing, and the United States just needs to get that rhythm back.
They're looking to do so here now with Tobin Heath. And Lauren Cheney. Looking. They're running the centre by Alex Morgan.
And a great defensive play from Shi So-yeon, number 4 for Korea. She was able to run step for step with Alex Morgan. That's impressive.
Alex Morgan was filming a promo with an American football player whose name I've forgotten.
Rob Gronkowski.
There you go. Thank you very much, Kat.
I'll help you out there.
Well, I wouldn't have known it, to be honest. I won't pretend.
I got to know it now, being a Bostonian.
And well, very much so. And how's the Breakers season going?
It's going. We started out
Kat,
pretty well.
That didn't sound very...
Well, the last couple of games have been a little bit of a struggle, but we'll get back into the rhythm for our game tomorrow, hopefully. So.
All right, mental note, never mention that again.
It's a rough week, but we started out well. We're still doing all right. I have faith in my team.
Jo So-young to Kim Hae-ri. Free kick is given USA's way. Some of your team, of course, here tonight.
Yeah, Sydney LaRue and Heather O'Reilly both getting the start for the United States, so that's exciting. They're both playing extremely well, and they're fun to play with the Breakers.
It's a lovely ball cross field. Finds Christy Rampone. Go back to 2003 for the last time that the Korea Republic qualified for the World Cup. But their hopes are high that they're going to make it to Canada in 2015, as things have been slightly reshuffled. There'll be 5 available places, in theory, as opposed to 3 before from the qualifying group. It's a great one down the right-hand side, and they hit it just wide. Alex Morgan, they're just taking a deflection out. Indeed, we're going to have another corner here.
Heather Riley at her best, finding the in line, and the United States has really found that the left outside back for Korea Republic is having a tough time. If they can keep going after that, they're going to find success.
Lucy in with quite a debut as left back for Korea Republic. So Young just plays it out for a throw. It's been a thoroughly entertaining game so far here at Gillette Stadium. USA taking an early 2-goal lead. The Korea Republic have rallied. Choi So-young make it 2-1, and that was Choi So-young again, who had just saw Nicole Barnhart off her line slightly. That would have been something very special.
I think that everybody on the field would have been clapping their hands for her. But Nicole Barnhart is, you're not going to beat her from that range, that's for sure. She's definitely a talented goalkeeper who's had the a fortunate but unfortunate position of having Hope Solo in front of her. She's one of those that on any other team in the world, she'd be the starting goalkeeper, and but she's quality.
Tobin Heath. That was almost a beautiful reverse pass. USA number 17, already with 1 assist to her name here today. Sydney Leroux, it's a good challenge. The home crowd appealing for a penalty, but that was timed just right there from Sim Sao-young.
Knowing Sydney Leroux in our last game that we had with the same referee, she probably wasn't too happy with that either.
Move on, Kat.
Trying.
So free
I
kick
do think
here.
very highly of Carrie Seitz, though. Just that one play.
Lauren Cheney stood over this. Good way out. 2 players in the wall. The ball's just drifted over. It's a good idea. Chung Kim was just, I think, backed into the post as she was looking to deny Alex Morgan that scoring opportunity.
It looks like Alex Morgan fell on her at the same time, so that doesn't feel good when you're not necessarily aware that it's coming. Great ball in from Lauren Cheney, finding Alex Morgan's head.
Oh.
And that's where she fell in. Every player came in, and Kim, the goalkeeper for Korea, just wasn't ready for that.
It's almost like dominoes, wasn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Chairman Kim, the most experienced player on this side, 63rd cap she's winning here tonight. Full on. This is part of a double-header series. The next game will be at the Red Bull Arena in New Jersey. be next week. The Korea players yesterday, they haven't had the opportunity to go and do any sort of sightseeing in Boston. Apparently they've got tomorrow off in which they're going to do that. Yesterday they watched the game between Canada and the USA, the one that we were talking about earlier, that Sydney Leroux and Alex Morgan scored in. Just to learn some lessons going into this match, and it looked like they hadn't paid much attention in the opening 10 minutes, but you have to take your hat off here. Young Dog Yao's side. It's been pretty even, hasn't it?
Ever since the first 10 minutes, it's been absolutely even. And the problem right now is for the United States is they saw the success of Sydney Leroux and Alex Morgan beating the Korea team in behind, that they're now playing that a little bit too much. And Korea Republic, on the other hand, they knew that they couldn't beat the U.S.'s backline with their speed, so they're combining a lot more. And that's why you're seeing a little bit more of the possession arrow going in the Korea Republic side, and the United States just getting a bit frustrated, and they just need to keep the ball on the ground a little bit. And this is where Tom Sermanni really wants them to, pull back a little bit and be a little bit more patient.
Lloyd who started that move. So Riley. So the role that Carly Lloyd plays within this side is pretty thankless, isn't it? You just sit in front of the back four, you kind of do all the dirty jobs so the others can go and attack.
Yeah, it's very thankless, and it's a role that she's not necessarily accustomed to. She's used to going up a little bit more and scoring in those in the Olympic final, those 2 goals, and she gets those touches in that area where she can get that long range shot that she's so good at. But right now they're asking her to stay in front of that back line in a more defensive role, and it's definitely a little bit different for her. Probably a bit frustrating because she does like to get forward, but right now she's doing a nice job of holding and keeping the back line intact.
Nicely taken down by Park Hee-young here. It's the long shot, little deflection to Nicole Barnhart. Rampone into O'Reilly. Ball goes out for a throw in here. It's coming up to 6 minutes to go before the break. USA 2, Korea Republic 1 here. Gillette Stadium in Foxboro. USA had the perfect start. Christy Mewis scoring after just 2.5 minutes. That advantage was then doubled through Lauren Cheney. But Jo So-young's strike on the half-hour mark. It's a pretty even game now. It's Ji So-young. A number of white shirts surrounding her. And here come the US then on the counter-attack. Riley plays it into Sydney Leroux. Move quickly breaks down. Park Hee-young. Just see what Ji So-young was looking to do there. Ball round Sailburn.
Yeah, I like her so far. She definitely has good ideas, and just with a little more experience and a little bit better of touch, she's going to beat them and be off to the races. So she's definitely an exciting player to watch.
As is Sydney Leroux, who's on the ball now. That's an inside to Alex Morgan. Lauren Cheney. Looked like it had gone out. Oh, eventually. Oh, it's a goal kick that has been flagged. Oh, we've got a corner. Eventually.
Tobin Heath has too much time and space, a little deflection from the Korea defense, and the goalkeeper just didn't come off her line in time, and it goes out of bounds. And
I don't quite understand what the delay was. Of course, head back into the mix. Sydney Laroon is cleared off the line by Kim Hae-ri.
I think I actually heard from the referees, they were talking to each other, and I think I heard the assistant referee say I didn't see the reflection, so I think that might have been the delay.
How did you hear that, Kat? Oh my goodness.
From way over here. There must have been a microphone nearby for me to hear that.
It was a big clearance, wasn't it, by Kim Hae-ri?
It's a good save from Kim, and Carly Lloyd does a nice job of finding Sydney Leroux's head again, but then too many Korea Republic defenders, and Kim was able to clear it off the line.
One of those players who featured in the Under-20s World Cup. Choi So-hyun as well to shield the ball out for a goal kick. 3 minutes remaining till half-time here at Gillette Stadium. USA 2, Korea Republic 1. Would we expect Abby Wambach and Hope Solo to be introduced in the second half?
When I talked to Coach Tom Sermani, he did say that Hope Solo will probably come on at halftime, split halves with Nicole Barnhart. He said he's pretty sure Abby would come on in this game. There's a good chance she'll come on at halftime, so I would expect to see both of them at half. Why not? Another good opportunity to get players some playing time, especially someone like Hope Solo who hasn't been in with the team in a while.
For a throw. Header comes away to Kim Nam-ri. Park Hee-young. This is where the Korea Republic have looked good. Using that patient build-up play. We're just turning the pace of the ball. And it's Kim Hae-ri. To the goal scorer, Choi So-hyun.
They're doing such a nice job of finding those spaces on the outside. The little space the United States gives them, they're doing a good job of finding it and getting it to their players' feet.
Tobin Heath. Collective sigh from the crowd as they knew that Tobin could have just got through Lim Sung-hae. There was the opportunity there to break. Cheney. Hopeful ball forward. Be something that Tom Sermani won't be too pleased to see. Trying to encourage his players to keep it down. As the fourth official indicate there will be 1 minute of added time here.
I think one thing that Tom Sermani is going to say is find LaRue and Morgan's feet a little bit more up top. Obviously, they can beat them over the top with speed, but find them, combine off of them, let the outside mids like Heather Riley and Tobin Heath run off of them, because that's been the weakness for Korea right now, is their outside backs and the United States getting around them. And that way they can be a little bit more patient with the ball instead of just cramming it down Korea's throat a little bit and hoping that Sydney LaRue and Alex Morgan get on the end of it.
Park Hee-young, last attack of this first half. Looking for support, finds it in the centre with Jo So-young. Lee Si-hing just on the overlap.
Just missed that overlapping run, because that would have been very dangerous. Rampone had kind of come in a little bit in the middle. There was a ton of space on the outside.
There goes the half-time whistle then here at Gillette Stadium. It was such a great start for the USA, with Chrissy Mewis in front of her home fans getting her first ever goal at international level to make it 1-0 after just 2.5 minutes. The US then doubled their advantage after 10 minutes. Lauren Cheney with the goal. However, the Korea Republic regrouped, and Jo So-young scored their only goal of the first half. I imagine Tom Simone will be a little disappointed with this score at half-time, considering the way they started, Kat?
Yeah, he has to be. I mean, the United States looked like they were going to, you said a cricket score. It just seemed that way, the way that the United States was really clicking on all cylinders. And then they just kind of put their foot on the brakes and completely stopped playing the soccer that they know how to play. And he'll have to definitely address that going into halftime.
So the US in control here, but don't take anything for granted, as at halftime, it's the US 2, South Korea 1. Josie Altidore took 7 years and 6 clubs to finally hit his stride. This season, playing for AZ Alkmaar, he scored 31 goals and won the Dutch Cup. Julie Foudy travelled to Alkmaar, Netherlands to chat with Josie about how this remarkable season has helped him mature on and off the field.
The old cheese is very famous in Holland.
His first professional goal.
To get old cheese, first you make the young cheese. You can't make old cheese.
A German from Josie.
All you need is patience. Wait and patience.
Josie Altidore, US lead.
Altidore, wat sterk en wat fraai afgemaakt zeg. Oh, prachtig Altidore. Ja.
31 goals this season, more than any American has ever scored in Europe. Could you imagine that?
Definitely not. It's been an amazing year for me, an amazing season, and I'm just really happy to have improved on last year.
Altidore, Altidore, ja.
What do you like most about being here?
I just feel like it's important, you know, when you're playing for a team, especially overseas, to have a life off the field, and I feel like I have that really nicely. I settled really well. You know, I made some friends off the field, and like I said, I'm in my comfort zone in a way off the field, and I think that's important because when you're happy off the field, you're happy on the field.
Josie's maturity was tested in January this year during a Dutch Cup match against Den Bosch. After being fouled inside the penalty box, he was showered with monkey sounds coming from the opposing team's fans.
You know, it's a bit disappointing, I have to say, and you know, it was just a sad feeling around the field that, you know, those things are happening in today's game, and I think everybody was kind of a bit disappointed.
So they almost stopped the game, right?
Yeah, they almost stopped the game. The referee asked me, you know, Josie, would you like to stop the game? And I said, no, let's play on. You know, I think stopping the game would only empower them, so I said we should continue and finish it off. You know, my parents always told me there's going to be difficult moments in your life, but it's how you respond that will define you. And this was one of them, and I just felt like, you know, I had to be the bigger man.
In May, Josie scored the game-winning goal against European powerhouse PSV Eindhoven, giving AZ its first Dutch Cup in 31 years.
You dream about that, you know, I mean, as a kid, you watch it on TV, you know, see somebody being crowned champion, a team, and to have that moment happen to me was a bit surreal, but also it was an amazing experience. First time I can be called a champion, so that's pretty amazing.
Translating the success he has found with AZ Alkmaar to the U.S. men's national team, a team that is still waiting for consistent scoring from its forwards, will be his next challenge.
Of course, I want to score goals, but I think the biggest thing to understand is that it's a different team. It's a different way of playing. It's a different style of play, and what you can do as a player is just give your all, and that's all I can do, and to be patient, and hopefully, you know, my luck will change.
Oh yes, Josie Altidore ends the scoring drought, and what a way to do it!
For any player, you just have to be able to go through the bad to know that the good is coming.
You like cheese, I hear.
I've become, yeah, an admirer of cheese. I've definitely tried some different types, and when you come here, you kind of have to. Being
I was
that
going
it's
to
so
say,
big
do you have
here.
a choice?
Not really, but I have learned that the older, the better.
So the more mature the cheese, the better the cheese.
The better the taste, yeah. So,
Kind of like Josie Altidore. Then let's get some cheese.
Let's get some cheese.
after just 10 minutes.
It looked like it was going to be completely different. I'll be honest. I thought that Korea Republic was just a little bit too young and inexperienced to get a goal back on the United States, but they did, and the United States really needs to go back to where they were in the first 10 minutes of the match, doing such a nice job of combining together, not forcing it over the top, and finding the spaces in the outside backs, where the outside backs of Korea Republic are, and their outside midfielders for the United States.
Let's take it, shall we, to the Continental Tire Analyst Corner as you take us through those big moments here in the first half.
Yeah, and this is what I'm talking about. United States did such a nice job at the very beginning of the short little passes combining, but then they find the space in behind where where Sydney Leroux is so good. She's able to get the ball across. Tobin Heath is able to get in front of the goalkeeper, and Christy Mewis is completely wide open. And yet again, here on the left side of the field, Lauren Chaney just gets enough space, wide open goal, near post, what you don't want to see it from a goalkeeper. But here's the Korea Republic coming back, building the ball up so well, and they're finding the space on the outside, the little bit of space the United States is giving them, and they're utilizing it. And here comes Cho Soo-yeon with a brilliant finish where it was so difficult for goalkeeper Nicole Barnhart to even get a touch on that. And that's clinical from Korea Republic, and that's going to be difficult for the United States to defend.
It's been pretty close, hasn't it? Since then, it's going to be a good second half. A number of changes we're expecting, including the introduction of Hope Solo. Welcome back to Gillette Stadium. Abby Wambach will start the second half. 3 goals, of course. We'll see her match Mia Hahn's record as the all-time top scorer in US international history.
And there's a good chance that she could get it here if the United States starts out the same way they did in the first half. Abby just brings that heading presence that it'll be very difficult for this Korea Republic team to deal with.
As you can see, just 3 goals away. It will be broken, no doubt about it. It's just a question of when. Now the fans here at Gillette Stadium would love to see it happen here this evening. As the US get things underway, playing from left to right on your screens, of course in their white shirts and black shorts, up against a Korea Republic side who rallied after conceding 2 early goals. But Jo So-young has given them some hope. And they come forward here, and Hope Solo, I think they have just got their fingertips through that to deny Jo So-young. Hope Solo, of course, a second-half substitution to replace Rachel Barnhart, caught into action very early on there.
Yeah, a bold play, bold start from Korea Republic as the United States had a planned-out kick. You saw all the forwards running a straight line, and then you saw Christy Mewis coming in because they wanted to put some pressure on the Korea Republic back line. That was the space that was left, and Korea just took it to him, and Hope Solo just barely getting a touch and puts it wide.
A frantic start then, early on to this second half, as the Korea Republic have their first corner of the game. And it's Abby Wambach with her first touch that's coming on. The ball is put back into the mix after being headed out. A sense of anticipation from the fans every time. Wambach's anywhere near the ball. Testing units takes it across to the centre backs here. It's the Rampone. And a right back here today. So knocking into the centre. By the way, to Sydney Leroux, who made way for Abby Wambach. But a good 45 minutes for your domestic teammate, Kat.
Yeah, very good 45 minutes. I'm actually surprised she came out. She really was able to get in behind a little bit more than Alex Morgan. But Alex Morgan has just been playing so well of late. He wants to reward that as well. But Sydney Leroux has to come off with a lot of confidence, and hopefully Tom Sermani portrayed that to her, that he thought she played well.
Kirsty Mewis looks it forward into Tobin Heath. Sauber knocks it forward into Heather O'Reilly. Very lively throughout the game here today. Rampone. Bad delivery inside. It's found Ji So-young though. Yo-younga. Back into Ji So-young. It's Park Hee-young now on the overlap. And the ball retention from the Korea Republic players has been superb in this match. There's no ball inside to Yo-younga. Park Hee-young. Oh, nice play by Park Hee-young in the end. He was a little selfish in going for goal herself.
They have a lot of confidence on the ball, and you have to love that from Korea, and that's definitely something that they're looking to in the next couple of years for the World Cup, and they're really gaining a lot of experience by playing the United States here, playing against the best, and they're impressing. They're impressing me, they're impressing the whole crowd with how well they are on the ball, and their confidence, and just gaining experience little by little.
They're using this game as preparation as well for the East Asian Confederations Cup, which comes up in July. It's the Confederations Cup for the men, kicking off today in Brazil. A player by the name of Neymar, scoring after just 3 minutes. Dream start for Brazil. Phil Scolari, clash against Japan. course, Federations Cup now very much up and running. Mexico against Italy, Spain against Uruguay. Two cracking encounters. And of course, follow all the action on ESPN. Well, here on the East Coast, it's Korea Republic 1, USA 2. Park Hee-young. How different this start is to the way in which the first half kicked off. Of course, it was just after 2.5 minutes. As Christy Mewis broke the deadlock. Korea Republic looking all over the place, and things got even worse for them after Lauren Cheney then made it 2-0. But they didn't panic. They've stuck to the game plan, and you have to say it's been pretty even since that goal from Cheney. Gordon gets it down the right-hand side to O'Reilly. It's one back. She knows how close that was to goal number 156.
Well, now this is a nice build-up from the United States. Well done from the U.S. for their patience, but Christy Rampone with a perfect cross to Abby Wambach, and she just misses it one time. So easy to time your runs if you're Abby, and that's why Abby was in, beating her defender and just a little bit lower, and she does get that goal.
Yesterday was the first time that I'd ever had a conversation with Abby Wambach, and she was lovely, really lovely, by the way. However, she didn't really want to talk about the record. You know, she wanted to talk about the team, and she wanted to talk about this game, and it seems to be something that she'd be more than happy to get out of the way so everyone will stop talking about it.
Well, I think it's almost like a forward feels like they're cursed when they have these, you know, chasing Mia records and everything, just because, you know, it's so difficult to score a goal, and now everybody's talking about it, so the pressure's there, and she just wanted it completely off of her back so she could go back to what she's so good at, and that's just scoring it naturally. So she doesn't want to talk about it, I think, so she doesn't jinx herself in any way.
She's like, well, I'll break the record, but then your Alex Morgan will come along and break it again.
Well, and Mia was a huge mentor for Abby, and Abby respects Mia so much, and they have such a great bond, and she wants to break the record, obviously, for herself, but there is that respect that for Mia and that mentorship that they had as teammates.
Feels for a handball, which have been awarded here. It will be Heather O'Reilly with the free kick. Nice movement. And it will be a corner. Nicely played by Carly Lloyd.
And that's what she likes to do. She likes to get forward a little bit. You can tell that she's getting a little antsy playing in that defensive midfielder role. So finally she's getting a little bit more of a chance to get forward a bit.
Just stalking there on the edge of the 18-yard box. See Chung Lee Kim with a number of players around her. The Korea Republic goalkeeper, as we're going to see the first substitution here. As Kim Sang-yang is going to replace Jung Dong-ha. Kim Sang-yang, an attacking player. Had a little bit more bite going forward for Young Dong-yao's side. The corner's played in and it's cleared off the line. And Kim Sang-young, the substitute, now brings it forward into Jo So-young. Kim Sang-young named to Kim Hai-ri. It may have been Abby Wambach with the effort that was cleared.
There was a little bit of a miscommunication, I think, from Abby Wambach and Rachel Buehler, because Buehler went up for it as well, along with Abby, and that's why it didn't go in as directly as Abby would have probably wanted it to.
Kim Hai-ri on the overlap. Ball's out for a corner. Korea Republic with a distinct disadvantage when it comes to aerial moves. Ji So-young to take the corner. You could see Jo So-young was the target there. Ten minutes gone then in this second half. USA with a 2-1 advantage here at Gillette Stadium. BC Jean. Debut has been run ragged on this near side.
It's tough to have your debut against the United States, that's for sure.
It really is throwing you in at the deep end. See, yes, looking for a little bit of spark here, just slightly lacking going forward in the final third. Carly Lloyd from some distance. Oh, it's got it. Carly Lloyd from at least 30 yards out restores the USA's 2-goal advantage here at Gillette Stadium. It's a USA 3, the Korea Republic 1.
And I've been talking all day about how Carly Lloyd loves to get forward. Well, she didn't necessarily need to get forward here. A completely amazing strike from such distance, keeping it low. So difficult for Kim Jung-mi to even get there. And just a perfectly struck ball from Carly Lloyd, coming from the defensive midfielder position. And this is, it's so dangerous. It's where she scored those 2 goals in the Olympic final. You always have to keep an eye out when Carly Lloyd gets the ball with a little bit of space in that area. She's definitely going to shoot it. She has quite the rocket.
It's a 44th goal, matching the 10th all-time scorer list along with Alex Morgan. Both now just to 1 away. So we know well here, Julie Fowley. Xiaomi King were disappointed, though, to be beaten from that far out. But it went through a lot of players. She would have been unsighted. Rampone to Cheney. You can see the Korea Republic are about to make another change. You can expect quite a few substitutions from both teams, you imagine, in this second half. One back. Shall I ask you the question, Kat? You won't like it.
What is it?
Mia Han or Abby Wambach?
Oh man, that's a tough one.
Yeah, I know you wouldn't like it.
I definitely don't like it. I got to play with both, so that's
Well, exactly.
Always, yeah, so
you've got to upset one?
Yeah. Well, they both, you know, you can't choose one or the other. I mean, obviously, when you put them together, they're just quite the combination. You have Abby, who has scored more goals with her head than a lot of people have with their feet. That's how good she is in the air. And Mia just does a nice job of creating a lot of chances for herself with her skill and her speed. So it's hard to say. They're two very different players, but when they played together, they were an excellent combination of forwards and so dangerous, and that's why they were so successful. So it's hard to say.
Kat, you should go into politics. That was very diplomatic. Ji So-yeon into Kim Nairi. Morgan, one back offside. That was close.
Oh yeah, just a little bit offside, just like a second sooner, and she would have been on. And you can tell, though, that's another thing that the reason why Abby doesn't want to talk too much about the chasing Mia is because a lot of the players are going to look to find her a little bit more than maybe if they would take the responsibility of taking the shot. I'm guessing Alex Morgan might have taken that shot in other situations instead of looking for Abby there, just trying to get that, you know, the monkey off her back a little bit of this whole chasing Mia record-breaking, you know, span that she's going through right now.
You got this, Abby, at the moment. She's got the brightest yellow shoes on, by the way.
Yeah, they look brand new.
O'Reilly. Chase down the clearance of Shim Sao-young. Goes out for a corner to the US, so we're just looking to play it in short here. Referee, no, not happy. The career of a couple of players were 10 yards back. It'll be Lauren Cheney to take this corner. Inside. Floyd, who plays quite clever ball across, but no one was attacking it. Ji So-yeon. Just a reminder, these two teams will meet again. This time at the Red Bull Arena on Thursday. What's that like when you play those double headers, Kat?
Well, you know, it's going to be interesting because for this game, Korea was a definite surprise. The United States started off so strong. They knew that it would be a tough game, but they didn't think that Korea would ever be able to get a goal back on them. So they're going to be a little bit more prepared, ready to go. And I think that the United States is just a stronger side at this point, and you're going to see probably a little bit more goals, and you probably will not see Korea get a goal scored on them just from the knowledge. That's the biggest thing that you'll probably take from that game. But I've been surprised by Korea so far, so who knows?
We'll see changes, though, won't we? We've seen, obviously, quite a few of the players who've come over from Sweden who won't feature here today. You imagine they will feature in the game on Thursday. Yeah,
players like Megan Rapinoe, who hasn't been in with the team for a little bit. She missed the Canada game for playing with her club team, and Yael Averbush has come back in, and Megan Klingenberg, both from Sweden. And then Kelly O'Hara just, you know, had a slight injury in practice yesterday. They don't have any concerns. We could probably see her play a little bit. So a lot of players getting opportunities that haven't necessarily seen the field tonight. Since it's such a quick turnaround, it's easy for Tom Sermanni to get a look at those players.
Tom Sermanni's shown in the past, isn't he? He's not afraid to just throw players in.
Yeah, he throws them into the fire real quickly. I mean, for example, someone like Christy Mewis, who's never played left back, had to be thrown in against Germany in Germany. I mean, he's not afraid to see how they perform and see how they handle the pressure. I mean, you're playing one of the best teams in the world in their home stadium, and she does a really good job of handling that pressure, and that just gains so much experience for her.
Speaking to him about that yesterday, and I said, well, yeah, there's a problem, it could backfire, as we just see Abby Wambach play it down the right side. Lovely ball. And it's cleared away. Lloyd fires it in. Wambach. And the opportunity just fell away in the end.
I find myself getting so excited for Christy Rampone right now, just coming from a center back perspective as she's getting her chances. And it's been so long since she scored. I'm getting, you know, like I'm getting, you know, on the edge of my seat. So it's funny.
8 years since she hit the back of the net for the US national side. So as I was saying, I was speaking to Coach Samani about throwing these players in, and he said, well, it is a risk, but I'd prefer to do that than just give them 10 minutes at the end of a game where they're not going to get a lot from. You really can test a player and find out a lot about them if you start them in these matches. It makes complete sense, doesn't it? Oh, and the ball's come in. Ji So-young goes down. Certainly a penalty claim there.
This is a nice ball in from Korea. And Becky Sauerbrunn was right there, but it may be a little lucky that she doesn't get the penalty kick called. She sticks out her leg a little bit late, while there was a nice first touch in from Ji So-young. And you can tell she's a little bit frustrated as well that she didn't get the penalty kick called.
See a substitution here for the US. Yeah, Leverberg's come on.
And I'm actually a little surprised by this substitution just because Yael just basically got here. She's only been here for 2 days coming from Sweden, probably feeling a little bit jet lagged, but you know, this is an opportunity for her to play in that defensive role, midfielder role that they're kind of putting into this system a little bit more, and she's so good in that situation. I'm just surprised that she got in this game. I thought it'd be more in the next game.
Hamilton's flag goes up. Much to the displeasure of the home fans who are desperate to see more goals. Yeah, Leverberg then. And as you mentioned, from Sweden, they all arrived on Thursday. Winning a 22nd cap here.
Yael's a tall player. She has a great heading presence, but she's also extremely skilled on the ball. She's very crafty. It's not kind of what you would expect from a defensive midfielder role, but she definitely gives that to the U.S. A very patient player, which is probably why Tom Sermanni likes her so much.
Certainly an imposing figure in the midfield. On to replace Carly Lloyd. Be more than happy with her performance tonight, of course, capped by the goal. And here come the US on the far side. It's a great opportunity. O'Reilly. And the ball does go out for a corner. So many players forward there for the US.
You can see the Korea team is cramping a little bit. You got a couple players down on the ground right now, and that's what the United States does to you. Yes, you get a goal scored in the first half, and you have a little bit of confidence, but the United States just wears you down. They are a fit, strong team, and it's just difficult to handle.
Well, let's take you through all the big incidents, shall we, from the game. It just took 2.5 minutes for the US to break the deadlock here. That was the goal from hometown girl Christy Mewis. Soon it was 2-0. Lauren Cheney with the goal. However, Korea Republic got back into it. Jo Sung-hee making it 2-1. And then Carly Lloyd from way out, making it 3-1 to the hosts here. see another substitution being made. As Rachel Bueller will come off. Ali Craig replacing her, and Chrissy Rampone's fun at right back is probably over now, Kat.
It probably is, and that's all right. She had opportunities. I did get excited for her, but Ali Krieger, that's not too bad of a player to come in for you.
Ali Krieger then at right back. I think Rapone will probably go into the centre now with Bueller going off.
And a nice curtain call for Bueller in her 100th cap. She has to be excited to get a little bit of applause from the fans.
So we just see another substitution here from the Korea Republic. Lee Min-ah to come on, attacking player to replace Kim Hae-ri. Was Kim Hae-ri? Kim Hae-ri might actually come back. Delight of friendlies, substitutions happening all over the place as the action continues. As the ball goes over the bar.
I do love the short corner kicks the United States is doing. It gives you a little bit, more options. But I'm the kind of person that when you have a player like Abby Wambach against a team like Korea where they're just a little bit shorter players, put it in there and see what Abby can do. I mean, she's the best in the world at heading the ball. Why not give her an opportunity?
The official attendance then for tonight, 13,035. A great turnout for this evening's game. Tobin Heath. To Krieger. Krieger just turns it inside. The last goal was against China this year. Her first and only one, in fact, for the US. She'd be disappointed she didn't quite hit that as cleanly, Kat.
Yeah, it got a little bit underneath her, and that's why you can see a little groan on her face when she was done with it.
Chun-Li Kim with the clearance. Kim Sang-young. A number of substitutes has been made by Young Do-Yao. See Jin. Looks it across on the effort from Jo So-young. And of course, there's a player who tried to score from her own half in the first half. Not afraid to shoot from distance. So-young, who's already got a goal here today. Here's Demures. Rampoe. Ali Craig. And the right-hand side now to Tobin Heath. Wrestled off the ball. Looked like a foul from here. Just taken away. I imagine there's some tired legs out there now. The ball comes back to Hope Solo, who has been a spectator really for much of this half. Made that save very early on. But apart from that, hasn't really been called into action.
And an opportunity for Hope really just to kind of get her game legs back under her. She hasn't really played a lot of games since her injury. She's played a couple with her club team in Seattle, but her first time with the national team, and they want to see how she's doing communicating, keeping the back line together. And she would get called upon for a save. They figured that. It was early, and she did well with it.
One back to Alex Morgan. She plays it across. Alex Morgan. Is there pressure on Alex slightly as well to try and set up Abby Wambach more than maybe she would normally do because of this total?
Yeah, I totally think so. I think that this whole chasing Mia thing has everybody aware of what's happening, and as a teammate, you want to see Abby succeed and break that record. And so everybody's trying to give her the ball a little bit, and that's probably why Abby doesn't really want to talk about it. She wants to talk about the team and how important this team is and developing who is on the field right now for that 2015 World Cup.
Now, what is this moment like? You remember it, Kat, a long time ago.
Long time ago.
Morgan Bryant making her debut for the US national side, received wonderfully by the crowd here, the 20-year-old. She will have some butterflies.
Well, you can just see it, the grin on her face right there says it all. She's so excited to be on the field for the first time with the full team, and extremely nervous but excited, and it's all good because it's, you know, I mean, this is something you dreamed of for your whole life. And Morgan Bryant, I guarantee this won't be her last cap. She's an excellent player.
What the? Almost pounced. Yeah, Hope Solo was telling me yesterday that she's been impressed with Morgan Bryant in training. She's fitted in really well.
She's a great human being. I've hung out with her a couple of times, and, you know, Gatorade National Player of the Year, and plays for the University of Virginia, and she's a game changer. She's really good sitting in that attacking midfielder role, finding the through ball, but also holding the ball for a team and connecting a lot of different players into the attack.
Do you think the transition is easier now from college, making that step up to this level than maybe it was before?
I wouldn't say so. I still think it's difficult. The speed of play is just so much quicker than it is in college. I think the only reason why it would be different is because there is a little bit more opportunity for the youth to play at the World Cup level when it comes to U20 World Cups. And Morgan Bryant was just in the one where the United States won it. And so she gets that experience. It's invaluable.
So it comes out and it's Wambach. Xiaomi Kim makes the save. It's a somewhat ironic smile, isn't it, on Abby Wambach's face. The 2012 FIFA World Player of the Year. So close hit.
It is an ironic smile. Abby knows that that was a perfectly placed ball, and just a little bit to one side or the other, and that would have been a goal. But a great ball in.
Nicely taken down by Tobin Heath. Lee Min Ha. Ki Sang-yo, and it will be a free kick. Given away there by Becky Sauer. As we see another substitution, Kim Hae-ri to come off, Kim Soo-young. To be the replacement. Fantastic. Yesterday, speaking to some of the Korea Republic staff and the manager, but obviously no one speaks English. So it was the woman who is the kit woman was looking after the interpretation. You never know where to look, do you? When you're interviewing someone that's being interpreted.
Or if they're actually telling you exactly what's being said.
Long shot comes in. Could have been saying anything to me. I was not alone, smiling. 10 minutes to go here at Gillette Stadium. Korea Republic 1, the USA 3. Let's take a look at tonight's good hands save, brought to you by Allstate. And it was Hope Solo's first touch of the ball. This is coming on in the second half.
Yeah, so quickly it happened. She was called upon so early, and she has a nice sigh of relief knowing that, that's a quick time for her to make a big-time save, but she did, and didn't allow another goal for Korea.
She was saying yesterday after the surgery, in practice she's fine, but it's in-game situations where you have to be on your toes more that she's a little untested. Abby Wamba. Lisa footing, looks at the referee. I don't think there was too much foul play there from Shim Sao-young. Sang-young. It looks like the USA are going to stretch their unbeaten home run to 71 games. They've been tested probably here more than they thought. Oh, that was a real opportunity there for Korea Republic to get one back. Hope Solo with the save. But really, the effort from Kim Sang-young.
Well done from Korea, finding that little bit of space. And Hope almost got tricked a little bit with where the ball was going. She was diving one way, but fortunately for Hope, it wasn't hard enough, and she was able to recover.
Nice interplay in the final third there between Yoo Young-ga and Kim Sang-young. Just didn't quite hit it as cleanly as she would have liked. Corner ball then to the US. Goalkeeping. Choi-mi Kim clears the ball away. Finds its way to Hope Solo. Knocks it forward. Sao-young with the clearance. Now it's come way onto the far side here. Alex Morgan, who hasn't had her best game.
Just so used to seeing Alex Morgan score, 2 goals, 3 goals a game. So
that's it. When you set the bar, I suppose, that high.
It's hard to do that every game, I guess.
You have idiots like me criticising. Ji So-young to Kim Soo-young. Oh, it should be an opportunity. It was just cleared away, wasn't it? In the centre, things just opened up in front of Hope Solo there. And once again, Korea Republic just missing that final touch in front of goal. Alex Morgan. Kristen Lewis. Move it away. We obviously joked tonight about Christy Rampone being able to play at right back. She's 37 now. Will she be at the World Cup?
Well, if she keeps looking the way that she does, I say why not? I mean, she's still playing so well, and she's such a difficult person to beat if you're a forward. And, you know, she's still enjoying the game. And
meanwhile, let's take a look at tonight's performance player, fueled by Gatorade. And it's the hometown goal. Christy Mewis, who grew up in Hanson, which is, what, about 20 miles away, scoring after 2.5 minutes.
yeah, no, it was a great goal. Tobin Heath doing a nice job of getting in front of the goalkeeper, sitting in the roof, beating her player, and then wide open Christy Mewis for her first ever goal. And she's also done a really nice job at defense. I mean, normally she's a midfielder. She's used to playing in the midfield, but she's doing a really nice job for the U.S., getting up and down the flank on the left side and defending the Korea attacks. The few and far they've been in this second half, but she's done a nice job of not allowing them to get around her.
Just a reminder, all of these shirts that are being worn tonight by the U.S. national side will be auctioned off for charity, with all of the proceeds going to those affected by the Boston bombing. O'Reilly. One back. It's just causing itches on the edge of the box, and it's a great save onto the crossbar. Alex Morgan bearing down on the ball. But Chi Min-Kim does fantastically well then.
There's good patience again for the United States right at the front, and Heather Riley just able to combine with Alex Morgan and just off the crossbar. Kim Jong-mi makes an excellent save, and just a little bit of chip. She saw the opportunity and just a little touch, and a great job from Heather O'Reilly of having that idea, just wasn't able to go in for her.
Wonderful goalkeeping by the 28-year-old to deny Heather O'Reilly, who last scored for the US back in September 2012. See another substitution here then for the Korea Republic. Yuyoka is going to come off to be replaced by Kim Ji-hae. Only her second cap for the national side. I reckon she's probably got about 3 minutes in which to make an impression on this game. There's the Hope Solo. was so popular amongst the fans here. Toby and Heath. Will be a corner. Quickly and short. Ball's given away. Toby and Heath. Good for Morgan. Well, the referee's pointed to the penalty spot. Sim Sao-young bringing down Alex Morgan. Looked soft from first appearance. But who takes it? Is it Alex Morgan or Abby Wambach?
I think it's got to be Abby. Alex got the foul. It's hard to take the PK after getting a foul like that. I think they're going to probably give it to Abby Wambach.
Let's just take a look at this again.
Yeah, there's been a couple of penalty kick no calls that have happened that I feel like were more fouls than that one maybe. And maybe this is a little bit of a makeup call, I don't know. But it was a good arm-to-arm tackle there, and Sim Sao-young, you can tell, is a little bit upset with it. But that's what Alex Morgan brings you. She can get in behind, and you have to do something to avert her from the ball. And that sometimes is the only thing you can do, and sometimes you're going to get the call.
Abby Wambach then against Chung-Mi Kim. She's never scored against the Korea Republic. It's the 33-year-old. She has now. Abby Wambach is now just 2 goals away from Mia Hahn's all-time scoring record for the US women's soccer side. That was goal number 156, which makes it USA 4, Korea Republic 1.
Well done from Abby. The goalkeeper completely guessed the wrong way. And I think even if she had guessed the right way, it would have been difficult to save that one.
Korea Republic looking for one last push as we're well into the 3 minutes of added time. Nice little flick on. Ji Sung-young. Quite get the ball under control, and there goes the final whistle then, here at the Gillette Stadium. In the end, it's a convincing win for the USA. But they were made to work hard by an extremely well-organised Korea Republic side, Cap.
No, I mean, I was impressed. Even when Korea Republic went down 4-1, they still tried to make another opportunity in front of the goal for themselves, and they're not going to give up. They know this is a great experience for them, for their young players. They play very well. They were just completely out-muscled by a stronger, fitter, faster team in the United States.
Of course, we will meet again. These two teams will clash the Red Bull Arena in New Jersey on Thursday. Very much advantage USA going into that clash. It all started so well for Tom Sermanni's side. He's allowed himself a smile there. He'll be happy, won't he?
He'll be very happy, especially with the second half. He'll take maybe the first, 15 to 20 minutes of that first half and the rest of the second half and build from that. The United States played really well. They combined extremely well, and people were flying everywhere. You had outside backs getting forward. You had Tobin Heath and Heather O'Reilly interchanging sides, and you just had so much movement going on that there was a lot going on that he has to be extremely pleased about.
Who else stood out for you from the USA today?
You know, I thought Tobin Heath had a great game. She was, cheeky on the ball like she always is, but she was getting in behind and she was changing pace so well. She was trying to find the open player, and it was difficult for Korea to ever win the ball out from under her. I thought she had an excellent game.
Sydney Leroux as well, showing what she provides in that first half, that pace, just undoing the Korea Republic defense.
Yeah, she's so fast, and when she's got the skill set, but when you have that kind of speed, you can beat players so easily with just one touch of the ball, and she did that on that first goal, and it's just impressive.
For the U.S. Women's National Team, and for a member of the Boston Breakers.
So for Kat Whitehall, I'm Dan Thomas saying so long from Foxboro, where the final score is the Korea Republic 1, the USA 4. To watch this entire game on replay, as well as other games on our family of networks, just log on to watch.espn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. This